Alright, finally here, it's shed time. Look at that thing.
That's a giant.
He sees it, now look up! Holy cow. Oh, sweet, that's the buck I've been looking for.
Can I open it? It's from you guys? Cards? Now kiss. Oh, I get kisses from Sky. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Thank you, honey. That's so nice of you. Oh, look at it. It says, for my wife, my Valentine, my love, my everything. God bless you. I officially know you did not get me this then.
Well, I have to bring in some help, you know, without your mom here. Get your card out.
That is so sweet, honey. I know you actually mean this. Mom, from the bottom of our hearts, this Valentine's, there's something we'd like to thank you for. Everything. Oh, look at you guys. That is your name in our heart. Thanks, you guys. You are so sweet. Thanks, Cameron. I'm not sure I'll ever wear it, but I really wanted it. Look at that. How fun. Chocolate hot drink bomb. Oh, I love it. Is it pretty? Should I wiggle? Thank you.
That looks just like Reagan.
Does it look good, Cameron?
Yeah, it looks super good. And this looks like my bat one.
It looks super good, so you're in with the 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the bat one. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much.
Alright, finally here, it's shed time. A little early, but I'd say 50% are down maybe. But, you know, I just don't like to leave too many of the easy ones out there. You're out in the fields and field edges, you get one trespasser coming in, they go pick 50 sheds up on you. So you try to stay on top of it a little bit. So we won't start hitting timber and stuff quite yet, but you know, you got to switch the dogs over from, you know, they've just been goose hunting and pheasant hunting to let them know that, hey, we're out, it's shed hunting time.
Who's going to find the biggest one? You or Cameron?
Cameron?
Cameron's going to find it?
Or me.
Or you?
Mm-hmm.
Kenna.
Was that English? Okay.
Bye.
I don't want to really go, I mean, I hit the fields here, but I don't really want to go too far in because, like I said, I know a couple of our bigger buds.
Yeah, a couple of big bacon still up here, but high tower's down. That other big 10, one of them had one down.
There it is.
Good
Ooh,
girl,
good girl,
Sky.
Sky.
I'm
Come here, Sky. Nice drop.
shopping.
First one, so at least we gotta get the dogs used to it. I mean, we just came from goose hunting and pheasant hunting for, well, especially Sky, 2 years of pheasant hunting. She hardly has been shed hunting, so we get them back into the shed mode. And that's how we just use treats still for when they find one, so we know what they're looking for. But another good thing is, like, for you, it's like a helicopter view. I mean, you're looking way out like this and seeing them. So a lot of times you'll see them first, unless when you get in the timber, it's a different story. The dogs can do a lot better in there. But they're used to using their noses, you know, putting their noses right to the ground, and they're looking. So a lot of times their view is like this. So you'll see them run right by them, and you're just like, what in the world? But they'll get it, you know. So once the season gets in a little bit more and more, they know what they're looking for. Then you see them start scanning a lot more. But it's also a good way to practice, like, on their hand signal. So if I see one way over there, I can use a hand signal just like you would for, you know, ducks or geese or something like that. So you're always working on different skills for them and keeping them fresh on stuff. That's what's really nice about shed hunting with dogs. It's like, it's not just for the sheds. It really keeps them tuned up for, you know, in the next fall for duck hunting and everything else. You can work on their hand signals and all that stuff too. Get out and walk right now while we can, because once this gets a little warmer, it's going to be a muddy mess out here, isn't it? So this deer is 6 this year, so he'll be 7 next year. And you know, it wasn't a good growing year for whatever reason last year, which I thought it would have been really good. But like this deer had 6 on this side, like in the past, and he had forks this way on both sides at one time. But like his other side, his 4 is really short, and so we thought, you know, even though he's got good massive, I know he's kind of short beam, he's kind of short tined, but let's just see what he does in a year. You know, like Wednesday I had, you know, we left him till 7. He was like a 180. He was a good deer for all those years, like at 4 and 5 and 6, and then we left him at 7. All of a sudden, boom, we flew into a 211. So you just never know what they can do. But that's what we call PJ&J. You know,
like that's one you wanted to find.
I never had any pictures of them with one side up to the other side is probably somewhere
here
close
somewhere.
in here, the kind of stuff we
kid's
wanted
laying
to
down.
find. Okay, Cameron and Reggie, back, like the puppies. Toot, back.
Hey.
Look at me, that way. Nope, back. Straight back.
Straight back.
Who sees it? Now look up.
To the
Go
right.
back. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That way. Straight back. Look, oh, there you go, Ray. Good job. Good job. Oh, we got a good treat for you, though.
Here's your treat.
Here we go.
Here's your treat.
Oh, here's your treat. There you go. Good job.
Come on in. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that one just dropped.
Okay, come on
That's
in.
a fresh one. Good find, guys.
We're gonna get you better whistle trained.
The best. Look up.
Back. There it is.
I told you.
That's I figured. I said that thing is a giant. If we can. This is my big one that I thought would be 200, and the last picture I had of him was right over here on the 9th. I had a picture of him on the 7th and on the 9th, and as I came out here, I think, okay, I got this whole cornfield here, mowed it down. If that buck's alive, you know, we'll find him. I am so pumped that this deer is still alive. You know, that gives me something to look forward to. This is the one deer that I thought, you know, probably
Be a giant.
could be a 200 this year, and look at that. I put the side by sides here and this and this and all this, so gives me something to plan for again. You know, he left early this year, and then he was in here way less than he had in past years. He's just getting smarter and smarter, but you just never know. This will all be beans this year, so I'll really have to do clover on the edges and a big turnip, like a perfect 10 field, and beans, and have everything in here in the summertime, just and hopefully we can keep him here. But look at that thing.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's
Look
why
at
I
that
didn't
thing.
get you anything.
Yeah, look at that thing.
That's a
Holy
giant.
cow. Well, we just found my giant one, but we found earlier, just like an hour ago, the other side of this, way on the other side of this farm. Anyway, this is the other side of that PJ&J. He dropped them both in the same night, I'm sure, because he had both of them up right here on this field, and then I had no more pictures of him. I never saw him with one side, so I just going through here looking for the other side of this to see if he dropped it close. Now, so Maddie came back with this. I don't even know where she found it. That's kind of one thing. He's like, I don't know where she found it at. Like I was saying earlier, he had a longer brow here before, and it's kind of a shorter brow, and then he got a shorter 4 on there where he had a, you know, bigger 4s, and he actually had 5 on the side, and he had a forked on both sides. So,
He
you
got
know,
me beat. But I'm like, I just found this.
yeah, good young little one. There he is, PJ&J. That was a set I'd like to find. .5. Look at his 3, put both those on top. He'll have like a 40-inch 3.
What do you got, hon? Well, how big was the beam? How long was the beam?
26.
26.
6.125.
Slice and dice, girlfriend. What is it?
93.75.
93.75. So
So I wasn't even thinking he was going to be 200, you know, the year, and somebody, I don't know, Bobby or something was like, that's 200, isn't it? No, okay. The other side, Doesn't have that, but care about this. The other side might be, let's just say if the other side's 85, like a 24-inch
He would have been a
inside.
200-inch deer last year.
Yeah.
202.
Yeah, and that's just guessing, like an 80 on the other side, but he had that other big point up there. He might have been more than that. So yeah, he would have been over 200 for sure.
Oh my
So.
gosh.
But that's like the mass on that thing. You know?
Like I said, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I think it's a pig. Alright, well, we're back out shed hunting today, and I got a couple of my buddies with here. We have Big George is here, and Steven, my buddy Mark Luster, and his son. So we brought out a little bit of the troops today to help find, you know, a couple of the bigger sets that I got down that aren't out in the field. It's really nice right now. I mean, a lot of our snow is melted, but in the woods it hasn't. And it's nice when you go in the timber because you can see where the sun is hitting. All those bare hillsides where there's no snow, you know that's where deer are going to lay. You know, if you see any place with snow right now, not that there couldn't be a shed there if they're walking through that to get to food or something like that, but that's not where they're going to spend a lot of time. Like right now, if I see, when I look at these hillsides and stuff in here, any place where there's snow on that side, you know there's not going to be as many sheds there. They could, like I said, they could be anywhere. But you look for, when you have a snow, the first faces to melt off, that's where it's going to be the warmest, where they get the most sun exposure, and that's where you're going to want to really start focusing on, is those bare hillsides that the snow is melted off. So you can see where the sun is shining in here, green bottom, and stepping up on that hillside there, and that grassy hillside that we're coming across the creek on. Definitely places to look for sheds is on stuff that's facing south, no snow on it, nice and grassy. Those are where you're going to find your sheds at. Well, this is an old shed that we just found here. This is off a buck that I killed last year that was basically sick, and I killed him right back over here. But the 2 years before this year, he had really bad infected foot, and he was kind of a nice wide one with a short tooth. Then the next year he came back with this, and he wasn't wide anymore. He really went downhill, I think, just from the infection in his foot. But then the next year he came back pretty nice, you know, really wide again and everything. Then he got sick again, and that's when I killed him that year, because he wasn't going to make it. The wide 10 is a buck Tiffany and I both hunted early season. Lo and behold, we're walking out to the stand, and there I saw him in the woods. Jumped up and went over the hill, but he never went up the other side. I think he may still be right down the bottom someplace, so just in case. Giant, wide frame, even though he still had short twos, he had a little sticker off one, and he was awesome. He was showing up on the north end of our farm in daylight several times, but again, just like old deer do, every time we went out to hunt him, we never saw him. And then he disappeared, and I just thought, well, maybe somebody shot him. He was close to the border up on our north end. And then lo and behold, all of a sudden we get to late season, and there he is. And it was just, what a transformation. I mean, he went from this big, huge bodied, huge neck, 6-year-old buck to looking like a doe, basically. I mean, he was withering away to nothing. As you get more pictures of him, you come to see that his nose had gotten like ripped off somehow. So I don't know if he got hit by a car or attacked by coyotes or what happened to him. But either way, he was in super bad shape. This deer is not going to make it through the year. Let's try for this deer. Okay, he's going up the other side. He's going up the other side. Okay, you got him. Okay, here goes. Craziest thing. This is a buck that Tiffany and I had been hunting like early season, and we never saw him. And he disappeared. He was gone for like almost a month, and we thought that he was dead. All of a sudden he showed up in terrible shape. I mean, he was limping really bad. His nose was just hanging off. I mean, there's a stand right there. We're just on our way in, looking for a different buck. And I look over, and there he is. I don't know what the heck he's doing way up here, but Nice to finally put an end to that one, because I was just really not thinking that deer was gonna make it. Sorry, big guy, but trust me, it's easier this way than with the coyotes getting you. But look at that old warrior right there. It's a deer we've known well on this farm. You know, he's 7 years old this year, and it's just so sad to see him, you know, in this kind of shape. But you knew that he wasn't going to make it another year. You can see his hoof is all infected and gone. His elbow, I don't know if he got hit by a car or what, but his entire nose is gone. Obviously, you can see the shape he's in. He wasn't going to make it. It just would have been a waste of a majestic deer, and it's just good to put him out fast. Clean shot right through the lungs and put him out immediately. He deserves it. What an awesome deer. You know, we have so much respect for these things, and this deer has been pretty much a staple on this farm for years. Man, what a beautiful deer though. Holy cow. Oh, sweet, that's the buck I've been looking for. I just had pictures of him literally a couple days ago, and he was always up on top, and I was wondering, you know, where he was gonna go and if he was around. Look at that, see, and he broke that big piece off there. And like I said, it's a younger deer, and I could tell that when I was looking at him. And this is so cool to find that, like a fork on the end, and he had drops off here. This was obviously gonna be something bigger. And his other side, and he broke his brow off there. And the other side's big and tall and stuff too. And I was just like, this is a deer, just a 4-year-old, but it's gonna be awesome. And I saw this immediately, I knew which deer it was. And I was wondering if he would be coming out to this big field and where he was living. And so now it gives me a little bit more insight to him and what he's doing. But he's young, and you can see he doesn't have much of a beam yet or anything else, but he's got all the makings of a real big one. And that's one that I've definitely been looking for. Sweet. Well, we're just out shed hunting here, and this is actually the knob that I first saw Night Stalker on when we were on the stand on the next one. And I was always thinking about moving over here. Of course, the next day he was right on our knob. But that's one thing about like shed hunting. You're not just shed hunting. I spent probably more time looking for sign and places that don't have stands. And like when we were over there, all the deer were on this side. Of course, the next day he came over on our side. But you're always wondering, maybe we should have a stand over there. And our big food plot's real close over there. So you're just kind of sitting looking for sign like this and seeing how many of your big community scrapes, and if he's right in that area, you know you're going to catch him right there at some point. This is where most of my scouting gets done, is right now, like in February and March. Even hanging stands and all that stuff is done right now when the woods are open. You see the trails, you can still see all the rubs and scrapes and everything. You don't have to deal with all the leaves and everything. So, oh, that's awesome. Now this is the one that I came here to look for. Just a young deer. He broke off one of these sides, but this other side he's got a sticker off his 2, off his 3, and off his 4. So he's got side-by-sides, everything. This one's got side-by-sides here. You can see how it's kind of blady in here and blady in here, that I wouldn't be surprised a bit if he started throwing all kinds of stuff off of this. He's probably 4, you know, but he could be 3. I think the year before he had his 2 side-by-sides, but either way, this deer is gonna blow into a giant. That's our future giant right there. Right, Maddie? Yeah, go find the rest of them. Hurry up, let's go get them.
Well, it was a pretty good day. Mark and Hunter, I think, scored on the biggest. Steven, all the little ones. I matched them all up.
Those are the hardest ones to find, George.
Who is that?
That's Wally's.
I said, let's drive through the middle of the corn.
Yeah.
And he had already found that one in the woods, and then boom.
That's what I said, they're so hard to find, you know, and they're so hard to see and cut corn, you know. Yeah, but that's Wally's deer right there.
Thought so. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hunter found that one.
And I found this one.